Yo, what up, what up, what up? What's popping with y'all? Another day, as y'all can see, out here on the streets, working on a Saturday, and it ain't even considered overtime. Just out here getting to the money. But what's up with y'all today, though? Y'all can see I'm still looking a little scruffy out here, but I'm gonna clean up today since it's my little baby birthday going on. So I get back home, clean up, shave, all that good stuff. But yeah, what's going on with y'all today though, man? How y'all doing on this Saturday? Let's see what's popping out here. I ain't really got too much to talk about today. I really just wanted to just shoot on live and see what was going on with y'all. I know I should probably do some more scheduled live, honestly, instead of just popping up randomly, so I can actually have something to look forward to. Get some more structure in my day, because yeah, I ain't got no type of structure. I just be moving around, shaking and baking or whatnot. So at least I know if I got something scheduled, I can kind of get some normalcy to my life. I see we got one in the building though. What's cracking? I had my last live and I didn't realize that until about, I'd say maybe like 40, close to 40 minutes in, I was on that live. You know, everything was going smooth and shaking. Everybody was having a good time in the live session. Everybody, you know, conversating, going back and forth, woo to woo. And then next thing I know, my live gets shut off and they say that, oh, well, you know, you want to get some type of guidelines and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, what happened? So initially when when I did it, I'm like, is they banning me or something like that? Because, you know, it was like the day after election day or something like that. So I'm like, damn, what happened? And as I'm trying to figure it out, I'm trying to go live again. They was like, you've been banned for going live right now, so you got to wait. And then I finally get a message that kind of let me know what happened. And I'm like, okay, that's what happened. So somebody had asked me about my EDC pistol or whatever, and how I had it set up and this and that. And I just so happened to have my gun sitting like right next to me. So as they're asking me the question, I'm like, well, I got it right here. I can show it to you. So I'm trying to show off something that's specific to what they was asking about. And next thing I know, cut my video short. And I ain't realized it until like after, like, oh, okay, they cut my video short because of guidelines and stuff like that. I'm showing firearms on live, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. But initially I was like, man, what the hell that happened to the point where they did cut my live off? But I get it now, so I know what I can't show and what I can show. And like I said, I wasn't even anticipating on showing anything. It just so happened that somebody had asked about something, and I just so happened to have what it was that they was asking about, like right there next to me. So I was like, why not? And that was that was a bad move. So I know next time, like, nah, we not about to do that. So yeah, anybody who was in the chat that day, I apologize for y'all, because I know it was cracking in there for a second, for about a solid 35-40 minutes. And like I said, somebody asked the question about that. I answered it, and I tried to kind of give them a physical example, and they banned me. Well, they ain't banned me, but they basically shut my live down. So I'm back again, and I know what to do and what not to do when it comes to doing my live. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in. For the people that was in it, we had a nice group of people up in here, honestly. Like, it just kept fluctuating. And like I said, we had a lot of people in there that was asking questions and just getting a lot of stuff off their chest, listening to my opinion, or taking some of my advice, and then also listening to my opinion about some things that I had as far as everything 2A related. So like I said, man, if you in here now and you was in that live and you realized that it got shut off like instantly, I apologize for that, but I appreciate y'all tapping in and checking out the live, honestly, because I don't know, y'all make me want to do it. I appreciate it. It's, like I said before, it's one thing to make videos, but it's another thing to kind of just be here live talking to the people, people asking questions. People want to know, like, hey, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on that? And then even giving criticism for, some stuff that I might say that might be wrong, or it might not be 100% right, quote unquote, or how I might have something set up. That's the best thing about this is, you learn and take from people, because a lot of the stuff that I've learned through all this, I've taken it from other people, as far as opinions and stuff like that. They, it's really helped me out. So I'm gonna see if I can find my headset while I'm at it. Reach into this bag that I got right here and put my headset on. Since I know I'm on the speaker, but I'm pretty sure it'll sound a whole lot better on the headset. And I don't even know what the headset is. But hopefully y'all can hear me just fine in here. If not, then I'll try to do something different. Since last time I had it on, y'all was having problems with hearing me. So now I'm trying to find my headset. It's in here somewhere, and I'll be able to kind of get some better audio going on, so y'all can hear me a whole lot better versus on this car speaker or whatever. But yeah, man, y'all tap in. Y'all got something to talk about. Let's hear it. Let's talk about it. And I found the headset, so we really about to be on popping now. Because I feel like when I'm in the car, I'm talking like loud as hell. Let's see if this works. So yeah, bear with me. What's cracking though, man? I appreciate y'all for tapping in. What's up with y'all today on this Saturday? Switch over. All right, that should be better now. Yeah, that definitely got to be better now that we out here rolling and shaking. But what's good with y'all, man? I see we got a few people in the live right now, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Like I said, it's Saturday, so I know a lot of y'all probably ain't even doing too much with y'all lives right now, just resting and relaxing as you should be on a Saturday. And as you can see, I'm out here getting to the money as usual. Let's see what you got down here. Homework, man. Tell me about it. Trying to get into. Hey, man, I wish I would have got into nursing. My stepmom, she a practitioner, and she tried to get me into doing the whole nursing thing when I was still in, and I worked in aviations in the air department. But I just really wasn't interested in it because she was like, "Oh, you should go to school and go be a nurse and this and that." And at the time, I'm thinking so one-track minded, thinking that only nurses is women and woo. But now that I'm looking back and I got a little bit more maturity, wisdom, and understanding about myself, I'm kind of like, man, I should have took my stepmom's advice and got into nursing. But I know me, and I know where I was at in life at that point in time. So even looking back, I'm kind of like, yeah, I probably should have did it, but at the same time, I wasn't mentally mature enough to have gone into a field like that and been able to have some real control over myself because, like I said, I know me. So yeah, but that's what's up, man. Do that homework, man. Study hard. Do your dosage calculations. Get ready for that NCLEX. And yeah, man, much power to you. Much power to you. I should have went in the gunsmith, and that's probably what I should have done. Looking at what I'm doing now, I'm always kind of learning a little bit here and there with the gunsmith. And since I only, put a little part on here and there, something that's not too major, something that you can do at the house. But when it comes to learning about cutting down barrels, shims, all that type of stuff, I'm like, man, I wish I would have known a little bit more right now, or at least had the tools. And I feel like having the tools, you kind of learn a little this and a little that. But I see them talking about that Sonoran Desert Institute of whatever, when it comes to gunsmithing and getting certified doing that. But I'm one of those people that kind of feel like I need to be a little more hands-on than just making a, just taking a course online and you not really physically picking up anything, touching anything. You're basically just like remembering some stuff, pointing and moving a picture to another picture, and you get certified like that. But I'm kind of more of I'd rather be more hands-on, but it does help when it comes to gainful employment or being able to do work, and somebody can actually say that, hey, they've been trained properly, they know what they're doing, and I'm gonna keep going to them. Hey, salute, man. I appreciate you. Salute. What up, Ken? What up, Keith? I appreciate you tapping in, man. What's good? Yeah, y'all can see, like I said, man, I'm out here on a Saturday, not doing too much of nothing, going to pick up another client, my last 2 clients, as a matter of fact. So it's about to be a smooth day after this. Go catch up my baby girl. It's her birthday today, so we'll probably get out, rock out. I got her a little bike this morning, so, well, I've been got the bike. It's been in the trunk, but she saw it this morning when she came downstairs, and she was amped. I'm talking about she ain't want to eat breakfast. She ain't want to do nothing. First thing she was saying was like, "Oh, I'm ready to go outside. Ready to go outside." So that's probably what we'll be doing later on today once I get off work. Take her to the little play jump house or whatever you call it. I'm not sure the name of it. It's a place for kids. I know that much. I guess it's like the equivalent of us as adults going to the bar or going to the range or something like that, or a little bit of both. I ain't trying to turn. Oh man, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. She 3 years old, and it seemed like time that flew just that fast. Go from somebody who ain't even here and bumping around in the belly to being potty trained and you know eating with regular utensils and stuff like that, knowing how to make safe and unsafe decisions. But yeah, man, she came a long way. I'm happy for the little boo, man. She's super smart, super smart, and that's not even a bias because I know a lot of times, excuse me, people say, "Oh, well, my kid's so smart and you know they're just adorable and gorgeous," and you see the kid and you like, "Nah, your kid dumb as hell," or "This kid ain't too easy on the eye. They look a little weird." But nah, man, my little baby, man, she's just adorable and she's smart as can be. Way smarter than I was as a kid. I know that much. Way smarter. She get that from her mom's though, so I'll take it. And she get me and her mom's looks, but she definitely get her mom's brains. But she a sneaky little somebody when it come to how she go about taking care of things. So she might get that from me. Maybe. Let me say. Nah, they don't stay small long at all. Still be driving before you. Hey, I'm ready for it too. I'm ready for her to get to driving. Hey, you know what? Honestly, out of all this, I'm just glad that she potty trained and she know how to get on the toilet and let me know when she gotta go. Number one or number two, like she'll let you know, and I appreciate that because I'm like, bro, you saving me from changing diapers now. You know, so she got her little pull-ups on and she got her little regular kids underwear or whatever the case may be, and I'm being more confident every day with her just wearing the regular kids underwear. Honestly, if she gets to the end of the day and her one pull-up she might have had on been dry the whole time, you know. So I'm like, cool. You let me know when you gotta go, you go, and then hey, we keep it pushing. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's my little boo right there. My little boo. I won't say I'm one of them people to be like having a child really changed my life or anything like that because I won't say it then. You know, I was happy for her to get here. You know, she was planning to be here. And I'm glad that I waited until I was like 30 some years old before I had my first kid, which that ain't knocking nobody who had their kid sooner or later. It's just for me, it worked out because I'm kind of selfish. Honestly, I'm a little selfish with my time and my money. So to know that I waited and, you know, she was in the best space, you know, married parents, you know, got a home, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, all right, bet, you know, we did it the right way. Did it the right way. What was my rate? I was aviation and fueling, ABF. So yeah, I worked in aviation's air department on the Eisenhower CVN 69 on the carrier. I was down in Florida for my A school down at I think it was NATTC, Naval Aviation's Training. I think it was NATC or NATTC at the schoolhouse. But yeah, I was down there for a couple months and did that. Then I went straight into the fleet after that in 2007. And I was on the Eisenhower from '07 to 2012. Yeah, to 2012. August, as a matter of fact, was when my discharge date came. But I left sometime in about June. And my skipper actually let me get out early because they were about to go on deployment on the 20th, and they let me get my DD-214 on the 19th. So the day I was checking out, everybody was bringing all their stuff on. Squadrons had already came on, and I was getting ready to leave. But that would have been my third combat deployment within, I think, three or 4 years. Even though I had been in for 5, and I think within 3.5 to 4 years, I would have had 3 combat deployments had I left. So part of me kind of wished that I would have went. But the other part of me is like, I'm glad I kind of got the summer to be like, you know, start the summer as a regular civilian. I started my summer in June, and I had my house hunting leave and my leave days that I had saved up already. And the skipper basically was like, all right, well, he got a short time, so I'll sign off and let him go ahead and just extend his like leave and house hunting days. And he can bounce. So I was like, cool, bet. They tried to get me to go to a submarine, but I wasn't having that. I wasn't having that the least bit. I was like, y'all can keep all of that submarine talk, but had I taken it, I could have stayed on because I actually had struck another job when I took my ASVAB going. I think we were on a training. We were training or something. We were doing workups. As a matter of fact, we were doing workups to get ready for that third deployment. And I was on my 5th year again, and I was doing I took my ASVAB again, struck a new rate that I could have went into. And I was like, nah, I'm good, because I think it was something with like machinists or something like that, and I could have went to the submarine. And I was like, nah, I'm definitely not finna do that, because I ain't finna go into nobody's water unless I'm in a swimming pool. So I was like, y'all can have that. So I went on ahead and just gracefully bowed out and was like, yeah, I'm finna get out and go work, be a regular person, go to school, all that good stuff. And I still ain't finished community college yet. And I was in 2012. And here it is, 2024, and I still ain't got no associate's degree. But man, hey, God's plan. That's all I can say. God's plan. If a person could see all I've done and accumulated and the moves I've made since then, you would have thought that I had gotten a full degree and had a career in the field that I really wanted to be in. But it didn't work out like that for me, and God didn't have it in the plans for me to, take that route. And looking back at it now, I'm just kind of like, man, that might have been a waste of time, honestly, because when you figure out, you find out that you deal with ADHD and bipolar too, you see why you always had issues with school. Let me see. Hey man, I appreciate it, man. Aviation's sailor on the sub is the most big Navy thing. Hey, I swear. But the only reason why I would have been on the sub was because I took my ASVAB and I could have struck another rate. So I wouldn't even been in the aviation field no more. I just would have went over into went on into what is it? It's not surfing, because I had my aviation warfare and my surface warfare, but I'm trying to think of like would it be considered if I went into just like the regular fleet on the sub. Like, I don't know, would that make me a waterman or something like that? I still would have been just a regular enlisted in my book. I just want to be in the aviation field, so I would have been a regular sailor. Heck, I mean, some people say they get sick on a carrier, but for me, nah, I ain't never been sick on a carrier. Like, ever. The sickest I've ever gotten on being on a carrier was because I was drunk coming off of being out in port or something like that. But as far as motion sickness and all that, nah, I've experienced it. Don't get me wrong, I've experienced the ship moving like crazy, cutting through storms, splashing in and out of the water. But nah, nothing like what other people say. Now, if you was on a smaller ships, small boys, destroyers and stuff like that, then yeah, maybe, because you go get a whole lot more of a aggressive feel when you're on the ship. I mean, from what I know, they got little things up on the side of their rack so they don't even fall out at night. And we ain't never have to have that. We just had regular curtains. There wasn't no latches or no belts to hold us in or none of that. So I can't speak for I was on a smaller ship, but for me, nah, I ain't never got seasick. And I've been on cruise liners too. Never got sick on a cruise liner, but that was way after my time in the Navy. So I guess you could say I got my sea legs up under me. So getting sick on the water really ain't gonna be no issue for me. Oh man, E4. Yeah, E4. E6, man, that's a blessing to make E6, honestly. That's a blessing, especially in I don't know, I think in the past, in those times, I think making rank was, it was cool making rank, but seeing how the military is gone now, especially the Navy, I kind of wouldn't even want to make more rank, honestly, because the Navy just ain't it, honestly. I mean, I think it might just be the departments that you might work in or the field that you might work in, because anybody who know Navy stuff, like, I wanted to go and be a master at arms, but being that I worked in aviations and I was so good at what I did, they never wanted to send me TAD so that I could go and work in security so that I can get the training so that I could strike for MA. So after a while, I just kind of got butthurt about it. I was a salty sailor, the fact that they didn't send me to work security, but they would send other people who were, basically like we consider like shit bags. They wouldn't send them, but they would send them, but wouldn't send me because I was a hard worker. So, I did aviations in the fueling department, and then I worked in DC in maintenance. And I worked aviation maintenance, so that was cool too. So, I had a lot of extra credentials up under my belt outside of just aviation's field. You know, I had maintenance qualifications too. E4, hey man, salute to them E4s, man. We was the backbone of the Navy. I don't care what nobody say, man. E4 is backbone of the Navy. Enough said. And Chiefs, E4s and Chiefs. Everything else is like whatever. That's all I can say. HM3. Let me see. The quotas was, man, you'd be surprised at how trash them quotas was for ABFs. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because once I had found out about our rate and how overmanned it was, and somebody gave me an example, and I was like, man, you gotta be tripping. So they were like, basically saying you had to score in like the high, like maybe like 90th percentile in order to make rank. And the way that they was explaining it to me was basically like if you had 500, sailors take the test for E4, and it was only space for about, I guess, 100 people to actually have advanced, and then you had only 200 people that didn't take that failed the test. I mean, you got 300 that made it, only 100 that can make it, and then out of the 300, the other 300, everybody passed. So it's like you could have been passed every single time that you took that test and still not make rank, just because they only had space for so many people, because so many people would stay in the rate for so long. And I get why they had that higher tenure thing for people who were staying in those rates for so long, and it kept it closed up for a lot of people. But I remember coming in as an E2. No, I came in as E1, but I remember by the time I was an E2, it was a lot of guys who came in with me, like right after me, when we were cranking or working the mess decks or cargo. They came in as E1s and E2s working in what was it? Like working in operations, air traffic controllers and stuff like that. And they rate was so wide open that all they had to do was just pass the test and they was gonna make rank. And I'm like, come on, bro. So by the time I'm getting to like E3, I got dudes that's already getting ready for that E5 exam. But the rate was so wide open that it was nothing for them to advance. But I did realize that for them, they had a cap too. So once they got to the point where they was going up for like E6 and stuff like that, like it was tight then at that point. Like it was hella tight. And I guess a lot of those people who got in, they stayed in. And once because it was an easy job from what I seen working at AC. It seemed like it was more politics dealing with chain of command than anything else. Let's see, I got a great time mess cooking for 90. Man, y'all can have that mess. You can have that mess work. They had me on the mess decks, but when I was cranking on the mess decks, it was when we were in we was in the shipyards out in Portsmouth. So I worked night shift too, cranking. So I really didn't have nothing to do. Like we'll come in at, I guess at like 6. I think we started our shift at like 6, from 6 to 6 or 7 to 7, something like that. But I mean, you in Portsmouth, the ship it damn near only got power on one side of the ship. A lot of the burdens ain't even able for people to live in them. So it's a lot of people not even on the ship. So you really ain't even doing no work. Like we can half-ass do the work, because the only people who was on the mess decks at nighttime was people who was on watch. Basically, it was everybody who was on duty that day was the only people really that would come across the mess decks. And then a few of the people who actually lived on the ship, who could live on the ship, they might come in late at night to get mid-rats or whatever. But that was it. So my cranking time was like super chill, honestly, when I was doing it, when I had my time to do it. And then right around that time, when I got about maybe 45, 50 days in, everybody had got ready to go back out on the water again to test or whatever we had to do. And by that time, they let me go in and work in the cargo. So I was like, even better working in cargo, because now I don't got to be on the mess decks. We just be up and down moving food up. And that pretty much was the bulk of my day for about another 35, 40 days. And I was cool with that. I should have been on restriction if that was the case, because everybody that we was working around the cargo was on restriction. Since they got to do all that extra duty or whatever. Let me say, you don't have to stand duty when you, true. I will give you that. We did not have to stand duty, so I ain't have to worry about no duty section, nothing. When it was time to go, it was time to go. I ain't gonna lie, I got a let's see how long we was in the yards. Like when I first got in 07, I got in at it was like December. And then going into 2008, I want to say about February. like February 2008. That's when we went over to Portsmouth, and we was in Portsmouth from February until like sometime maybe like October, November, something like that of that year, and then we ended up deploying that next year in January or February going to 2009. But I was in the yards for a minute though, and I loved every bit of it because did I not only did I go into the Navy right after my ship had came off of deployment, I started my Navy career when my ship was in the yards too, or going to the yards. So I really ain't have nothing to do. We was just chilling. Like every day we go, muster, and that pretty much was it. But I got a funny story for y'all. I got a client about to come in that I'm about to pick up right now, so I'm about to hit y'all back later on. But I'm gonna tell y'all about a funny story that happened to me with security and the drug dogs and Master Chief. It's a funny story. So y'all stay tuned for that. I'm gonna go back live later on and I'm gonna let y'all know about what happened with that. I tell you it's a funny story. I sure do to being in it. Yeah, man. When we was in the yards, it damn near felt like shore duty. And for us, we work in aviation. So if we really ain't out to sea, we ain't doing nothing but maintenance and cleaning. That's basically it. You got other departments like people who work like bosun's mates, the BMs and stuff, they'll be standing duty, but they still doing like regular work. But I'm gonna holler at y'all. Let me get up out of here.